On this edition of NoDQ&A video, I'll be talking more about Extreme Rules, my thoughts on Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Chris Jericho, all this and more, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQ&AV and of course, NoDQ.com. Last night was WWE Extreme Rules, very eventful pay-per-view. Got a lot of questions about Extreme Rules, so let's just get right down to it. Do you think Extreme Rules could be a candidate for pay-per-view of the year and also Lesnar versus Cena for match of the year? Also, your thoughts on Layla's return and winning the Divas title. Alright, let's start off with pay-per-view of the year. Absolutely. Last night, I gave my initial thoughts to Extreme Rules. I said that it was a great pay-per-view overall, and after a night of sleep, I stand by my initial opinion. I think it was a tremendous pay-per-view. You had 3 matches that I thought were excellent, at least 4-star matches, and to me, it was just a pay-per-view overall where I really felt I got my money's worth. I bought the pay-per-view wanting to see great matches, a great crowd, and I got what I paid for. So to me, that's a big thumbs up. I personally thought Extreme Rules was better than WrestleMania. I thought that the WrestleMania rematches were the matches we were supposed to see at WrestleMania, but instead we got it at Extreme Rules. Definitely the best WWE pay-per-view since Money in the Bank, and ironically enough, both pay-per-views were in Chicago. I wouldn't go as far to say it was better than Money in the Bank, but definitely among the top pay-per-views from WWE in recent memory. As far as Brock Lesnar versus John Cena's match of the year, I watched back on the match this morning, and to me, it was just as great the second time as it was the first time. The thing about Lesnar versus Cena, I know a lot of people didn't like the finish of the match, and the thing is, though, people bought the pay-per-view wanting to see a great fight. When you watch pro wrestling or sports entertainment or whatever, you want to suspend disbelief. You want to see something that's realistic, and John Cena and Brock Lesnar was just a great simulated fight. It was awesome. And to me, it should be a match of the year contender because it was something different from WWE. But I know a lot of people don't like the Lesnar finish, and as far as that goes, I mean, really, we got to see how it plays out. Now, if Extreme Rules does this huge pay-per-view buy rate, and then the next pay-per-view with Lesnar does something disappointing, you can go back and easily say that having Lesnar lose was a bad move. But we'll have to see what happens on Raw and in the upcoming months. So I really don't know what to say about the Lesnar loss at this point. Logic tells me it's a bad decision because you look back at like the WCW invasion. Vince McMahon did not want to put the WCW guys over WWE, and they could have gone for a long period of time with the invasion. That's something that could have been drawn out for years, really. But instead, they blew it off really quickly because the WCW guys did the job to WWE. Vince McMahon didn't want to put the WCW guys over. And in this case here, I mean, it really felt to me like this was Vince McMahon's way of saying to the whole world that UFC is inferior to WWE. I mean, Brock Lesnar wasn't really a WWE guy. He was portrayed as an outsider. He had the MMA gear on, and he did the MMA style match on Cena. And in the end, the pro wrestler, the sports entertainer, Cena fights back and wins. So it seems to me like it's Vince's way of saying WWE is better than UFC. And to me, that's an ego move right there. And I don't know if that's the case or not, but that's what it felt like to me. But we'll have to see where they go with the booking. Perhaps they can do something with Lesnar there. But anyways, I'm rambling here. As far as Layla goes, I don't understand what that was all about. I mean, everyone was expecting Karma to show up. She trended on Twitter right when the announcement came that Beth wasn't going to be in the match. You had that storyline where the Bella Twins made fun of Karma before she left, so logical sense for her to come back and win the title. To me, the only explanation I have is that WWE felt Karma was too predictable, so they brought Layla back as a surprise, a swerve or whatever. And this is a perfect example of a swerve not always being the best idea. Sometimes it's better to go the predictable route. And yeah, this was a perfect example, and I don't get it. I mean, the crowd was completely dead for Layla, and I don't blame them. I mean, Karma would have made perfect sense for that match, and it didn't happen, so I don't know. Hey Aaron, I got a kick out of the Bork Lesnar fan sign from Extreme Rules. What were your favorite fan signs from the pay-per-view? Chicago had a lot of great signs. The one that sticks out the most to me was the one that said, "I don't always eat ice cream, but when I do, I eat WWE ice cream bars." I love that sign, and just a lot of signs. I loved all the no signs and the yes signs. Just like I said, awesome crowd in Chicago, and you know, props to them for that. Now John Cena is, quote, injured. What is next for Lesnar, and when do you see Cena coming back? As far as John Cena goes, I mean, we knew before this pay-per-view that there was the rumors that Cena was going to take some time off. So not really a surprise there, and doesn't make sense for him to be gone just a month and then come back. So I think if he's going to be gone, it'll be at least a couple months. Logic would tell you that he'll be back by the time of SummerSlam. That's what makes sense to me, but you never know. Maybe they'll keep him longer. But then again, if the ratings go in a free fall or whatever, WWE might panic and bring him back real quick. So I don't know. But to me, I would give him a good 2 to 3 months off, and it's good for his character. He needs a break. I mean, they're not going to turn him heel, obviously. So give him some time off and let him come back and be a fresh face again. And as far as Lesnar goes, as I said, I don't know where things go with him from here. I mean, definitely if you do Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker now, or Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, it's just not going to have the impact that it had if he had won the match, because he already lost now. So definitely not as much drama there with whoever he's going to end up facing next. But you never know what WWE, I mean, maybe they have some kind of grand scheme here with Brock Lesnar that we don't know about yet. So I'm going to wait before I jump to conclusions on things and just see how things play out. Was Lesnar hurting Cena and busting him open predetermined? Also, was Cena injury planned as well? Yeah, everything was predetermined. Obviously, with Lesnar's shots to Cena, I mean, those were really stiff shots. So they were trying to bust each other open the hard way, and they succeeded. I mean, Lesnar was hitting him with those elbows, and you know, I see a lot of people talking about how Brock was really reckless in the ring, but the thing was, I mean, that was what was planned. It was planned for them to go out there and just have this really intense match and make it look as real as possible, and that's what they did. So. Brock Lesnar did nothing wrong there. I thought he put on a great performance, actually, and so did Cena. I mean, you look back at that match, those guys were very, very convincing in that match. So I give it a huge thumbs up, and yeah, everything was planned, and the fact that people don't know what to think about it, like they don't know if it was determined or not, that's the art and the magic of wrestling, when you can suspend disbelief. So that's why I think that was such a great match. You know, going back to the other question, just great stuff from those guys. Should the Y2J CM Punk angle continue, or should they keep going? I think if Jericho is leaving soon, there's no point starting another feud, so they should just continue. Hopefully we'll get the ladder match between them. Your thoughts? A ladder match would be great between them, but at this point, I really don't see the feud continuing. I think they've done all there is to do with that feud. Perhaps if Jericho had won one of the matches. I always thought he should have won the WrestleMania match and then done the Extreme Rules match where Punk won, and then they could have done a third match. But they had Punk win twice in a row, which I'm also fine with. But at this point, there's really no need for a third match. I mean, I guess they could always do like a third ladder match on Raw or something and have that be Jericho's last match for a while. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Jericho at this point, but I think the feud is pretty much done. After WrestleMania, it was stated that Jericho's original contract of 6 months was extended by several months, but he wouldn't be around for SummerSlam. Does this mean he'll leave to do his Fozzy tour, then return? I think WWE will let him come and go, as he's a big draw. Absolutely. I think that obviously Jericho's got this thing with Fozzy going on, and he even said he's not going to be around for SummerSlam, so... I do expect him back, though. I think after the Fozzy tour, he'll come back. And the thing about Jericho, I really have a lot of respect for the guy, because he comes in and he's not selfish. He came back at the Royal Rumble. He put over Sheamus at the end. He put over CM Punk 2 pay-per-views in a row. I mean, the guy, to me, he's just a great guy. I mean, he doesn't need to win matches. He doesn't need the spotlight, and he comes back and he gives back to the business. So I really admire Chris Jericho for that. And he's a smart guy. He knows that characters get stale after a while, and he takes time off, and he comes back, and he's a fresh face again. And Jericho gets this. So, I mean, hats off to Chris Jericho. I think he will go down as one of the all-time greats in WWE, and somebody you could really learn a lot from, I think. All right, that'll wrap things up for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Just a ton of news right now coming off Extreme Rules. So I'm going to have another video coming up tomorrow after Raw, and I'll give my thoughts on all that. Make sure you subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCW. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest regarding Extreme Rules, and we'll see you next time.